This episode of 86 That is brought to you by Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. If you're looking for the freshest sushi and authentic Japanese flavors just up the road in Austin, Nanami is the spot for you. From classic rolls to chef specials, it's perfect for a night out, date night, or just treating yourself. They're family owned, passionate about quality, and we're proud to have them supporting the show. So next time you're craving sushi, head to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. Check out their menu at nanamisushi.com and tell them 86 That sent you. Once again, thank you to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill for sponsoring this episode.
I got a snack. I didn't realize the bowl I grabbed it says right on here, not suitable for microwave use. But
did you microwave that?
I put it in for 30 seconds in the microwave, less than.
Nice.
With a kolache.
There you go.
Just don't go out in the living room. It's a little bit exploded right now.
That's my grandma's favorite bowl, you asshole.
Is it really?
No.
Oh. That's
that
good.
Small plastic blue bowl.
It's like $2 from Walmart.
Oh, the wiener fell out.
Welcome to the 86 That podcast, where 5 college filmmakers sit down with a special guest each episode, directors, writers, producers, actors, and other creatives shaping the industry to talk movies, the creative process, and the ups and downs of making their work. Follow us on Instagram at 86 That podcast for episode highlights, exclusive bonus clips, and even chances to ask questions to future guests. We appreciate you tuning in and hope you enjoy.
Mulder, are you in a dorm or are you in an apartment?
I'm in an apartment.
Apartment? Okay.
Yeah, I'm staying in the washing room, by the way. So this is not legally a room that's supposed to be rented out. So I don't have. We're in the basement, and so I don't have any windows in this room. So it's like,
okay.
It's insane. Like you wake up in the morning. So I have this little night light that I turn on because if I don't have it, and I wake up in the morning, it's gonna be pitch black, which is like the weirdest thing. Like you wake up at like 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. and it's like pitch black.
You don't get any of that morning sunrise.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Well, today we have a very special guest. This is my friend and very talented filmmaker, Mulder Liu. Today He has made 7 short films, one in post currently and the other on its festival run. Along with his shorts, he has made award-winning commercials and ads, and Mulder just started grad school in Boston for film. Mulder Liu, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Mulder.
Thank you. He's never hyped me up like this before. So.
We don't talk like this.
Wow. Well, you've done a lot of stuff. I mean, I was just looking in the past couple hours before we joined this, watching all your work, and I think we want to touch on most recent being what you and Andrew collaborated on. I thought it'd be worth it over the summer.
Yeah.
We had a private screening, and Andrew showed it, and I've seen it a handful of times now. And I guess I'll kick it off with my first question being the soundtracks and the music, because I'm a big music guy, and I saw that you are the music supervisor and pretty much are in charge of all the music projects that you make with Andrew and by yourself. And I'm very influenced by music on my own projects too. I find the song first and then I write to that. And I saw you also use Artlist. I use Artlist too. But I wanted to ask what your process was like finding the music, and if at all, how does that music affect the way you prepare or execute the writing, directing, or acting in your projects?
So I think normally whenever I'm the same as you, like when I come up with stories, it normally comes from music. When I'm like listening to it could be a pop song, it could be a soundtrack, and I just kind of get this image of a scene maybe, or like a scenario in my head. And then I start like piecing together, like writing the story. But for this film particularly, I don't think that was the whole creative process of it. But I'm just saying, like in general, that's how I come up with stories. But the annoying part with that is you can't use the music that you were originally imagining in the scene, because it's always like copyright. And Andrew knows this really well, because we always get into like this debate about, do we want to, use that copyright music and just have it on YouTube for some people to watch, or do we want to like find another song from Artlist, which isn't going to be like as close to the original image and the imagination of the film as possible, but be able to submit it to film festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
when we first started, that was a big discussion that we would have, because Mulder was always like, I need to use this song because this is the song that I made it with. And I was always like, nope. And he was like, yep.
I just watched Destiny's Calling 2.
I was just gonna say
and
that.
the ending credits of a Justin Bieber song. I'm like, they got the rights to a Justin Bieber song. Like, whoa,
You got Never Say Never going loudly right as your names are coming
great.
up.
It's so great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a passion project. That was just for fun. So
Yeah.
Well, and I thought it'd be worth it. It was the three moments that stood out for me. The songs I thought fit perfectly was the pool game, was Steve stealing money out of Brian's drawer at home, that like thriller soundtrack you have, and then the ending credits, perfect fit.
Ending credits. I told you, Andrew, the ending credits song. In the beginning, he was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, man.
See, I'm always, this is the discussion we always have. I'm always against it, and then Mulder's always right. And this is like a part of our process where like music,
Like a married couple.
always he shows me a song and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is really gonna fit. And then we like show it to someone. They're like, whoa, this is perfect. And then I just have to shut up and like be like, yep, Mulder knows what he's doing. I gotta trust him.
The first song as well. Andrew was so against that
I
one.
was so against that song.
He was like,
And
this
now
is like
I think
a
that's
commercial
one
or
of the best songs
something.
that we have. You just gotta trust your person
There
that
you
you're
go.
working with, man.
So do you find the songs after you make it, or do you ever find songs? I mean, does that influence like you directing, or you writing, or you acting? Do you ever consciously think about the music or the tone that's going to be playing over the scene?
For this film in particular, that I didn't think about music when we were going through it.
Okay.
So it was all like in post-production, and we started like looking at a bunch of different songs. It takes like a bunch of time to like find the right fit, because you never know. Some feel right, but you know, if you place it in the scene, it's a little bit off, and you want to keep going for better, but sometimes, you know, you miss that actual perfect one, if you know what I mean. So it was a process looking for music, and I would say in the end, overall, I think I'm pretty happy with what we got.
So the discussion about the music kind of leads into what I was wondering, and you kind of touched on this already with, how you and Andrew kind of wrestle with how you make decisions about the film. So y'all are collaborating on these, and it's, from what I understand, a pretty close collaboration. How
Right.
does your process differ, or your way of going about things differ from Andrew's, and how does that kind of mesh together?
Andrew, he is way more about like the technical stuff. He's like, he always vetoes things that I say that are a little bit over the top. And I do appreciate that a lot, because we always find common ground out of that. Because I would say the most over the top things, like we should do like an explosion, or we should do, crazy stuff like that. And he would always be like, okay, dude, let's kind of tone it down a little bit, and like try to make something happen that's similar to that, but not quite. So we are more like, I'm more like, I'm crazier. I'm like, I just say like crazy stuff
Crazy.
randomly. And he's more grounded. He's like, dude, we gotta think about the technical stuff. We gotta do it professionally.
No, and that's like, and I hope you know, Mulder, Andrew is the, like, I feel like when Andrew's here, he's the one that's always like, dude, we can make it. He goes, we can make this for like we can do a big explosion for like $5, $5. Like, you can do this right now. We can do this tomorrow.
Wait,
He's
he
like,
actually said that?
No, Mulder, I gotta clear up some air right here.
No, he's
Mulder.
I
Yes,
don't know
I'm
how
still
he
the
is with
same.
you, but he is. I hope you know, he is the opposite when he's here. He is
I am the
I'm
same
so
across the
disappointed.
board, but it's just a testament to how crazy Mulder's ideas are. Like, your ideas get nowhere even close to Mulder. So when you guys say something crazy,
Yeah.
like whatever you guys say, I'm like, yeah, that's like a Tuesday. What are we talking about? Guys? Let's do this, because Mulder's ideas are absolutely insane.
It's
So
like the
Mulder,
truck scene.
Speaking of this, I want you to tell us about truck scene.
So we filmed the trucks, like a fight scene on the truck. If you guys didn't know about that, this past summer.
We saw that. Yeah, we saw
And-
some of them.
Yeah, it's not edited yet. We only did like a really rough cut of it just to see what it looks like. But essentially, the idea was, just for context, it's Destiny's Calling 3. It's the
Which I'm also very against,
Third.
but we can talk about that later.
it's a trilogy now, guys. So
Let's go.
so
The
I was like,
franchise.
it's a franchise. I was like, we need to top it off. I watched that. I came straight out of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and I was like,
Oh, yep.
we need to do something that's that we can maybe afford, or maybe be able to do, that's like a little more over the top for like film students. If anyone watches it as a film student, they're gonna be like, what the heck is this? Like, how did it was a long process of trying to think of something that's like a sort of stunt but not too dangerous, doable kind of thing. So we landed on renting a truck and then having a fight on the back of it.
Like an open bed, like a truck. Yeah, but you miss like you run onto the truck. It's not like the two characters start on the truck. The one character starts on the truck. You are running at the truck and you jump onto the truck.
Well, I don't
do
actually
a flip,
jump onto
and
it.
then the fight starts. So let's keep that in mind also.
I don't actually jump onto it because obviously that's going to be a little more difficult, and we don't have a safety guy. We don't have a
Say, who's your safety coordinator on set? Who's your?
We don't have that. Andrew was
Andrew's the safety coordinator.
he was camera guy, safety coordinator. But
You guys just call that the party pooper in Taiwan. That's all you guys.
it was pretty dangerous though, I will say, because when I was imagining it, it seemed like a lot of fun. I would talk about it every single day with Andrew. I'm like, oh, there's a truck. We're gonna film on a truck, you know. So I was so excited before the shoot, but then when I was actually like chasing after the truck, it was scary because like the back of it was open.
Yeah.
So if the person who was driving the truck like brakes for some reason, I would just like straight into it.
That was a conversation we had where we were on a road, like a road that was in use. Like we didn't like block off. There was other cars on this road. And so like the conversation that we had with the truck driver first, this was like the safety conversation, was truck driver, you never stop.
Break. Yeah.
And you never break. You just keep going. Even like 5 seconds after we've called cut, you keep going. Just to make sure, because Mulder can't slow down as fast as a truck can. So
Wow, that is. Mulder, has Andrew ever shown you like the safety like rules that we have in our film program? like the long list of what they have. They have it like
not
if we
yet.
have any stunts or any weapons at all, we need to have like an $800 a day safety coordinator at like minimum. And they do that just so that you can't have any weapons or stunts in there because no one can afford that. You know, it's like a super extensive list that just grows every semester because someone breaks it in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I just attended a safety briefing also at my school, and it's also like the same thing. You got a list of things that you need to, you know, if you're shooting on a roof, you got to list it out. If you're shooting
just don't like
on the back of a truck, they're going to veto it, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they told us the reason for it, though, because one of the students that stay in my school actually like passed away because he fell off of a roof like a few years back when they were doing a shoot that they didn't list on the safety list.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I redact my statement about it being fun.
Like my first year here at Texas State, an alum from my high school asked me if I wanted to help on one of his films as well. I was told or asked to like stand at the edge of this parking garage. I remember standing at the edge of that thing and I was like, yeah, no, actually I'm getting down. We're not filming this anymore. Like I literally
Like you were
told
up
them,
on the railing?
I was standing on the railing of a parking garage with nothing holding me at all. Like I'm just looking down to like a 5-story drop to my death, pretty much.
Right.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, we're not doing this. I literally got off from the railing and I was like, I'm done.
Andrew also did something like that. He wanted that shot from. I thought it'd be worth it.
Dude.
I know.
And he was sitting on like
dangling his legs, dangling his legs
story.
over the.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's like a 10-story drop,
And it was
and he's
raining.
just sitting. It was
So
super
climbing
dangerous.
up there, like it was a straight up ladder, like a metal ladder. It was wet on the ladders, and I was wearing Converse, which if you know anything about Converse, they're like the most
No
ungrippy.
grip.
Oh, it was so scary. I was like, my heart was racing. That was so dumb.
But we got the
shot
shot,
was
and
cool.
that's what was important.
I'd love to talk about Destiny's Calling,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
so
I'm a big fan.
about 6 months ago, that was when I saw the second one, because that was right, I think, around when you released it, and Andrew was talking about it, and we watched it together. He's always just like I'm always just blown away by your like the locations and the cinematography that you guys have. What was your inspiration for that story? I know now you just talked about the third one, so like what's your inspiration, and like how do you go about filming such like massive projects? Because I mean the first one's like 18 minutes and the second one's like 30 minutes, or
No,
it's
the
other
first
way
one
around.
was the
The first one's 30 and the second one's 18 minutes. Yeah, but it's like how do you go about filming such massive like projects? I mean, they're like that's an insane feat to get such long films.
I mean, like watching it now that I know more about film and stuff, I do see a bunch of flaws. I'm like, why did I do that? The acting was horrible. stuff like that. But for the first
Oh.
one, for an example, was because I love proving people wrong. Like whenever they're
Sure.
like, you can't do an action film, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do an action film. And
Yep.
when they're like, you can't film at a bunch of locations, I'm like, well, you're gonna do it, you know? So I think that was the whole mindset going into the first film. And also, I was really heavily influenced by like Indiana Jones at the time because I kept watching those films at the time, and I was like, I want to make an action adventure, but how do I not, not have a big budget, not have all these, CGI and gadgets and all that stuff, but still create that kind of action adventure feeling. So I was like, this was when I was traveling to Europe and I was like on the subway. So I still remember where the inspiration came. And I was listening to like the Indiana Jones soundtrack. And I'm just like imagining, because also Andrew left to come to Texas that summer. And I lost my, best ally to make films with. I was by myself, all alone at the time. And then I was like, what if I made a film about me and Andrew making a film? Like that's gonna be a fun thing to
Hey, there
watch.
you go.
But and
Awesome.
what if it was a film within a film as well? So we could have like we didn't have to make the action adventure world that, super convincing or anything. Because the audiences would know that it's the film within a film, so it doesn't have to make
Yeah.
100% sense.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
that's where it all came to place, and then I just executed that idea.
Well, I wanted to touch on the editing because I watched Destiny's Calling and
Yes.
Destiny's Calling 2, and the editing is phenomenal. It is
It's so good.
incredible.
Oh, thank you
the,
so much.
The
So
intercutting
good.
and the plot parallel of the movie and the behind the scenes, and then the match cuts and the crossfades and the pacing, it's all just like amazing. And so I wanted to ask,
you so
kind of
much.
similar to my music question, how much do you find the editing to influence other aspects of your films that you're heavily involved with, like the directing and the writing and the acting? And a follow-up to
Right.
that is, do you know the second you step on set what the editing looks like in your head? Is it like methodically planned and structured and mapped out to a T? Or is it more like, we're going to go out and shoot this and then we're going to find the final cut through multiple like workshops and revisions
like-
and cuts?
I mostly know what it's gonna look like kind of in my head. I kind of have a picture of what it's gonna roughly look like, but I never really think about editing that much when I'm filming, because I'm just like I'm so focused on just getting what's happening right now, right.
Mhm.
So normally I just figure it out when I'm in, not I wouldn't say the editing room, but when I'm using my laptop to do it, I'm just like trying to piece together. I don't really think about it that much, but I guess it's kind of like in the back of my head because I watched so many movies, and like growing up I loved watching films, so I just kind of have an idea of how editing should go and
Yeah.
like the flow of everything. So
Yeah.
I don't really think about it that much.
I know whenever I'm whenever I'm like editing, or if I'm on set and I'm thinking about the edit, it's like a comic strip kind of like playing in the back of my mind. And so it kind of, whenever I go in, start editing, it's kind of, it spills out like that. I have a question about how, because you talked about losing, like you had lost Andrew for a little bit, but I want to hear a
still
little bit
alive.
more.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's here with us.
We found him. We found him.
Y'all's collaboration, I'm very curious about that, because how y'all shoot films in Taiwan and together, I hear Skeleton Crew so much, and it's like so small and compact. How does that work out with, if like y'all are both like kind of wanting to build this story together, or do you find yourself doing more of the writing and like kind of, you talked about finding common ground, but I don't know. I'm just curious about that.
Honestly, I think I would say it's like a really 50-50 kind of
Okay.
thing. Like
Interesting,
we kind of contribute the same amount. I feel like, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's the style that we work with, because normally we both sometimes give ideas that aren't that good, and the other person would kind of like bring it back a little bit, and then we just kind of find that balance.
One thing that happens is like I think also like with the music thing, like I know I can trust Mulder with the music, and like I know I can trust Mulder in so many other ways on film, and then I hope he knows that he can trust me in other ways. So I think it's not like 50-50 in every single area. It's like 0% me and 100% Mulder on music, obviously, because he's the music guy. So yeah, I think that but it does even out in general to 50-50. But I think, I mean, one thing that we always talk about is the collaboration thing, where it's like one of the like the best parts of our films, the films that we love the most, happened after we, argue is a strong word, but like had a
debate.
disagreement. Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Andrew, did we debate about anything for Worth It
Dude,
film?
we debated every single day. I mean, it's hard
It's just-
when you're both being like co-directors.
Yeah,
Obviously,
how do y'all find
yeah.
that compromise? If you two have different ideas, how does it end up to the final cut? What's the conversations like? How does that go?
I think it's just a lot of talking, a lot of hours of talking before we actually write something down. So I
Have your own little,
remember
like,
the
Fight
first
Club.
time. Yeah. So I remember the first day we started writing the script for this. It was insane because the next morning we had to leave at 8 a.m. to go to this shoot for a dirt bike commercial, right? But we were like up until 4 or 5 a.m. like talking about a story. So we came up with like a scene maybe, or like a little more than that, but it was a lot of like compromising, talking about the dialogue and like disagreeing, and then or maybe thinking it was dumb, and then we would have to rewrite and stuff like that. So it's just a lot of conversations before we actually jump into a project. But once we start the project, I feel like we don't argue as much because we kind of both have a clear idea of where we're going with that. If that
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
mean, I think it is important that all of that stuff happens before you get on set, because you're working with other people, and a lot of the
Right.
other people that we're working on are not in the industry at all or know anything about film. So it is important that we work out a lot of the stuff beforehand, and that means a lot of late night conversations, like
Right.
like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. are mostly where we figure out our film,
Wow.
because during the day we're shooting. So
We also
figure
had
out
an
the film at
argument.
night.
Well, I had sort of like an argument with one of the actors with I thought it'd be worth it. And Andrew did not help me at all. He was just
No.
standing there. Him as a director, as a
He was
co-director
safety
of the film.
coordinating. That's a very important
was
job.
coordinating the
That's a
safety,
very
yeah.
important job. You know, he was making sure that the argument was staying at, a very
Yeah.
safe level.
Yeah. The context of the argument was just the actor, he wanted to say a line in English, but because I think we probably wrote it in English, I think. But when we were actually filming it, I was like, I think it's so much more natural for his character to say it first in Chinese or Taiwanese, because his character was supposed to be drunk and he wouldn't care that Andrew's character wouldn't understand what he's saying, if that makes sense to you guys. So I was
Yeah.
like, why don't we try that? And he just did not want to do it. Like he didn't even want to, just film both versions and, give it a shot or something like that. So then we got into like this pretty intensive debate, but Andrew was just kind of like standing there. He was he didn't
I
care.
do want
He
to
was
give more
tired.
context. I was not just standing there watching you guys. I was setting up for the shot. So I knew that it was going on. I'm not going to absolve myself from all guilt, but I was setting up the shot. I was like, hopefully they'll figure it out by the time I got this set up.
Man, this light is really interesting right now. I don't know why. I just forgot how to set it up, so it's taking me a little
Let's
bit
change
longer.
it from
Yeah.
98
Yeah.
to 99 and see
Yeah.
what that does.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on a short that I just saw of yours called Camping, and I thought it was very well done. And I
Wait,
thought
did
it was
that-
it was on your
I thought
website.
that was-
I saw.
I thought that
On
was
my
private.
website.
Yeah, on your
That was
website.
private.
No. But it's
No,
like,
that
it's
was
like a
just
4 minute
a-
short. But it's like interesting because it was like no obvious clear like action clear conflict that you have in movies that you make with Andrew. But the visuals and the music and the vibe was just so well done. It like reminded me of like Perfect Days with like repetitive like routine editing and the sound design. And so when I seen that, it kind of became apparent that you like to do a mix of genres between drama,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
I
action
love
thrillers and
that.
whatnot. So I wanted
Yeah.
to ask what are there like certain filmmakers or movies that inspired you the most to go down this path of filmmaking or make these specific movies?
So I think in like my earlier days, it was definitely action films. Like I was a huge fan of action, huge fan of Tom Cruise. I still am right now. And like that's kind of what started this whole journey. And also like the earlier like Disney Pixar movies like Cars, Toy Story that I loved as a kid. And then I just started thinking about like how is it that people can create images or like animation and stuff like that to make me feel emotions out of that, even though I am not related to this person, this filmmaker out there. I don't even know what they look like, but they can make me feel these emotions that maybe even like your daily life wouldn't give you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so then that really inspired me into like the whole film stuff. I just started watching a lot of movies in general, and I found out that it's not just action that I love. Also, like other films like drama, comedy, and stuff like that. They also make me feel things. So I just started getting more and more into it, and then I found out about people like Quentin Tarantino and like Christopher Nolan and stuff like that. You know, like the big, huge
Yeah.
directors. And then
Yeah.
I started learning about how, you know, they have different. Everyone has a different style when it comes to directing, when it comes to music choice and stuff like that. And it just really fascinates me to that these huge directors out there, they can direct different genres sometimes. You know, like they can touch at different areas of filmmaking, but still do such a good job at every single one. So that's kind of how I got into like all the different like trying to make different things because I feel like it's so much fun
Yeah.
to accomplish something that you were originally not confident in, or you know, you thought that you wouldn't do a good job in.
Right. I can relate to that. I made comedies, I made dramas, I made a crime thriller. I love touching all the
Nice.
genres. It's so fun. It's so great.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to go into this question should have been asked at like the very beginning, but I like we've only heard great things about you, and Andrew has talked about saying like that there isn't really a film community in Taiwan, and there really aren't
No.
people that make films in Taiwan. Like it really like when the people that he works with are really the only people that are actually really interested in being in movies in Taiwan. That's why your crew is always so small, because you don't have people. So like, how did you two meet? Like, where did that start? And like what got you guys so close and so like willing to collaborate on such a like, you know, like level to making as many short films as you guys do?
So we met at church actually, because so his dad is still the pastor of the church in my hometown, sort of. But so we kind of knew each other for like maybe 10 years, 9 or 10 years, but we weren't really that close in the beginning. But I think individually, I mean, for at least for me, I loved films already, and I was making like these really cheesy, you know, kid action films when I was like 12 years old. And then we started like at a certain point, I think we talked about film. He started getting into film. He started with photography, I think, right, Andrew? But then
Yes.
he
Yeah.
started also getting fascinated by like cinematography. So then we started talking, and then we found out that we both share this sort of passion. So then we started trying to make some stuff together. But we were both still young. The things were kind of dumb. I don't know if Andrew showed you guys, but he's still to this day he refuses to share one of the links to the earliest films that we've
I
made.
don't have it.
I can't watch it anymore.
And I have not looked for it either, which might be the reason that I don't have it.
See, John's the same way. John won't show us his movies that he made pre-college.
I have them.
right,
I still have them.
and he has them, right? He has
And
them.
he
And
knows
I've
where they
seen the
are,
titles.
so-
I've
I
seen
know
the
where they
titles
are.
for the YouTube videos on private in his like unlisted like things,
Those will
but he
never
won't
see
show
the light
them.
of
He
day.
won't show them.
Nope.
I also
gonna
have
happen.
like a deep like I just want to see them. I just want to see like where you
Yeah.
came from. And
He
where
doesn't
you
want
are
you
now,
guys
you
to
know?
judge.
Exactly, but we're not gonna judge. It's
I'm
like,
not
like,
gonna judge.
you know, it's
I'm
like
just gonna
like
stare and
dude,
watch.
there's a shot he showed me. There's a shot he showed me where he's in his car in the sky. Like he did a scar, like a
Whoa.
car, like keyframing shot. And you're telling me that's like a middle school
Well, that's
film?
so cool.
Like that's what I'm saying. We want to see this. We want to see like little John in the driver's seat of
I
you
can show
know
you that
the
shot.
car.
That shot I'm most proud of.
Mulder made a whole feature before we met. Like, well, you know, an hour.
Well, that's not
Feature?
No,
It was-
no. I
it was a
wouldn't
kid-
call it that. It was a kid film. I made it when I was 12. The story is there's no story. It's just a continuous like events happening that aren't really that related
But
to
there
each
were
other.
some cool scenes in there. I'm not gonna lie. There were some cool scenes.
For kids, maybe they would look pretty cool, but not for us. Not they look dumb right now when I look back. But I mean, those are like the most beautiful memories, I think. You know, like yeah, making mistakes and you know, being just, you know, I think what I really love about specifically that first film, that action film that I made, is how pure it was. Like how pure of heart it was. Like I was just trying to do something that I like to do. I'm not thinking about all the different aspects of how I can screw up, and just I think that's beautiful looking back right now. good memories.
I want to ask about grad school. I'm interested. I'm just interested that there's like grad school for film anyway. Well, first, did you have any formal film education outside of just making movies on your own in Taiwan?
No, I've never had any formal form of education before.
What has your experience of grad school been like so far?
I think they're really professional, like the professors and everything. Everyone's really nice, really professional, and they're kind of like some of the things that they teach in school. At least I don't know about you guys, but some of the things that they teach in school, you sort of know about already, but they just kind of they tell it to you again and in a more in-depth way to kind of really like reinforce that idea into your core for you to whenever you move on and you try to make films by yourself, you will always remember them. So I do think it's really important to also have like education when it comes to film. And also one good thing about my program is if we graduate and we want to, teach film, we can also do that because it's an MFA program. So that's also one of the benefits, I guess. But overall, yeah, I'm having a blast over here.
What's something that surprised you about it that you didn't expect?
So I'm taking a class called directing fiction right now. And this is a really like practical, like hands-on experience class. So, but I didn't expect us to start that quickly. So we're like 3 weeks in, and we already filmed. Well, we tried to film 2 scenes yesterday actually. It's like a in-class exercise, but I love it. It's like it's really intense. Like we have a rotation every week, so everyone gets to try out different jobs, and it's intense, it's stressful because a lot of preparation before class, but it's just really good experience and just a lot of fun.
What's something that you've brought over from your own personal experience that doesn't seem like a lot of the other students have?
Definitely I would say the more like not thinking about so many technical aspects kind of side, because we had this writing class where we'd have to write log lines and come up with stories, and everyone was sharing like really philosophical, deep, like someone was sharing a story about finding her mother's head and the head talking to her, but like telepathically and stuff like that. Like everyone was sharing super like creative and deep stories. And when it was my turn, and I was like, I want to make a film about a guy who smokes weed and gets superpowers after that. So he can he has super fast reflexes. Action film.
Sound like you're in the right room.
Well, one thing I respect about you and Andrew is that y'all do. Like, you don't just like talk about it, like you do. You go out and make it and you shoot it and then you learn from that and you do it again. A lot of people just like talk and talk and talk and they never actually do. Yeah. So I respect you for that.
I hope to do it with you guys one day,
Yeah.
I hope to do it with you too, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do.
Well, I did hear you're coming in December, right? That's like you're visiting Texas in December, correct?
Yes, I'm trying to like arrange like the whole time schedule because I'm going back to Taiwan for Christmas and then I'll come back, but I'm still like looking at tickets and everything.
Awesome.
I don't think you understand how excited we are.
Yeah.
We all got to grab lunch or something for sure, at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll probably be filming something at that point.
Well, Mulder's
making
his next film, and you guys are going to be on set.
I don't know. We're making our next film, me and Andrew.
Film.
In December?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you're gonna try and make it in Texas? In Texas?
The first time.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow. I see. I just hope just like prepare for the level of disappointment you will have in the locations already. That is the location scout. I mean, you guys are spoiled with just the diverse, the amazing. Like when I saw the Destiny's Calling, where you guys are on like a bridge near a waterfall mountain type of. It's like what is that? That's probably like a how close is that to your house? Like how close of a drive is that?
Oh, that's like 8 hours.
Oh, that was far.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
so that
was
far.
pretty far.
Okay. So
They drive far.
that's fair. That's fair then.
Hey,
okay.
maybe we should do that, guys. We should
I
take
was
a
like-
road trip for a film. Come on.
We could still drive 8 hours and still be in Texas and still not have that.
That's true, yeah.
I talk to Andrew sometimes, and I'm like, and I ask him about certain shots, and the reason why I asked about that one was because I'll say like, oh man, dude, that shot is like insane. Where is that? He goes, oh, that's like the library, dude, down the street, and it's like come on, man, it's like how is that even fair,
I mean, just
But yeah, I hope you have I hope it's a good experience filming in Texas. You get to see what we all get to
I
do.
hope so too. Well,
Yeah.
as long as I'm filming with you guys, it's gonna be a
It'll be
blast.
great. Please,
It'll be great.
please.
It'll be great.
Let's collaborate.
But thank you so much, Mulder, for being here.
It was
Thank
so
you guys.
nice.
This is a
So
lot of
nice to
fun.
meet you virtually.
Yes.
You all too.
All right, well, it's been a lot of fun having you on the podcast. Hopefully, we can maybe have you on the podcast again, and hopefully, we'll be working with you in the future, making another film.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for carving out some time to do this with us. I think a lot of people are going to love this and get a lot from it. So, thank you, Mulder.
Yeah,
See
thank you
ya.
so
Good
much.
seeing you guys too. Have a good
All
weekend.
right,
Bye, Mulder.
Bye.
Bye.
there he is. You guys met him finally.
What
Dude,
a guy.
He's so great. He's so
That
great.
was awesome.
Can't wait to meet him in
I'm so
person.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have him back.
All right,
All
everybody.
right.
Well,
Everyone-
thank you so much for
All right,
listening to our
everybody.
podcast. And
How
that is-
bad do I sound?
Well, you sound fine, Lex.
That's not, no,
All right.
no, this is not how we're stopping this podcast every single time.
Thank you for listening to the 86 That podcast. Make sure to stay up to date by following us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Instagram at 86 That podcast, where you can find episode highlights, exclusive bonus clips, and even chances to ask questions to future guests. We appreciate you tuning in and hope to see you in the next one.
This episode of 86 That is brought to you by Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. If you're looking for the freshest sushi and authentic Japanese flavors just up the road in Austin, Nanami is a spot for you. From classic rolls to chef specials, it's perfect for a night out, date night, or just treating yourself. They're family owned, passionate about quality, and we're proud to have them supporting the show. So, next time you're craving sushi, head to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill. Check out their menu at nanamisushi.com and tell them that 86 That sent you. Once again, thank you to Nanami Sushi Bar and Grill for sponsoring this episode.